Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? Today on the Account for Your Life podcast, here's what we're talking about: where people go wrong when thinking of abundance. And let me ask you a question. If someone said, hey, write down everything you want. If someone said to write down everything you want, how would you respond to that? Writing down everything you want. This isn't just like, pie in the sky, wants or things that you desire. This is everything. Anything that you could think of, from all the physical things, all the material things. What would you write down? So there's an exercise that you can test your mindset when it comes to your abundance. And this is one of them. And I'm going to share with you, what tends to happen and why people go wrong when they do this exercise. Don't worry, I messed up too. So I'm not here to act like I'm better, more abundant. Guys, this is in real time. I'm working out my own salvation here, so I was thinking about this, not because, hey guys, at the end of the day, this is what I'm working on. I'm working on being more abundant. I'm working on forgetting the past, forgetting the former things, pressing towards the things that I ultimately desire. And that's all I see. And I'm going to tell you, it's interesting. It's interesting to wake up every day and not focus on what happened yesterday, not focus on what happened days before, weeks before, years before. It's interesting that most of us live in the past. Oh my goodness. To be able to constantly look at and think about all the desires of your heart, all the things that's in front of you as opposed to behind, man, that's a challenge. So in this exercise, when you write down everything you want, I would just want you to think about this, and you can go do this later, but I'm giving you the cheat codes here. So what tends to happen is that we tend to write down the things in our experience right now. So say, for instance, you wanted, maybe you wanted a certain kind of car, certain kind of house, or, you're thinking about the experiences that you're already in. Typically, we would go in singular minded. Think about this, singular minded. If someone said, write down everything you want. If you wanted a car, you would write down the car that you want, maybe even the color, the make, the model. You would talk about the house, or you would talk about the clothes. You talk about where you like to travel to, and all these things. And then the list would be pretty long. And then if you had a coach, the coach would say, well, why did you limit it? Why didn't you get 3 cars? Why didn't you get 5 cars? Why didn't you have 3 or 4, 10 houses? Why didn't you do this and do this and do this? And you're like, well, I didn't need it. Here's the problem. Want is not the best word, but desire and need. Desire and need. I want you to think about this. So want is the same as saying desire. So desire is everything. It's every. There's no limit to desire. You can desire as much as you would like. But need, what happens is need is limited. I only need to wear 1 pair of shoes every day. I only need to wear one outfit every day. I only need, this, or I only need that. Or I only need 1 car, or 1 this. So what happens is, even when we're put in a situation where we have to think past our needs, we tend to limit our thinking. But imagine this, because this is where we really go wrong. Imagine we say things that are in lack. I'm going to read you a text I read Proverbs just about every day, and somehow the topic that I'm going to talk about somehow pops up in Proverbs. I'm like, oh, look at that, but I have to see it. Like, so the Holy Spirit just kind of works with me so I can see clearly, because I read this text many times and I've never done the podcast on this particular topic today. So we're going to jump over to Proverbs chapter 3. Let me share that with you so you can see it with me, read it with me. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs chapter 13 and we're just going to read 1 through 3, but we're going to highlight, I'm going to highlight 1 as our main text. So it says, a wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not respond to rebukes. Think about negativity. Think about this. Someone comes into your life and they're saying different things, and you're actually having conversations with people that aren't abundant. They don't have an abundant mindset, and you're desiring this abundant mindset, but they don't have it, and you are in conversation trying to explain it to them, and they're like, what are you talking about? So you don't want to respond to people, right? So from the fruit of their lips, things coming out, people enjoy good things. Abundance is what comes out of your mouth, but the unfaithful have an appetite for violence. Now, we know you don't have violence, but here's the thing. Your words can be violent. They can be violent to you. Last verse. But those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly come to ruin. My highlight text is verse 3. Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly come to ruin. What are we talking about here? See, abundance and lack have to operate together. They are one side of a coin. You can't have a coin without two sides. Go look at a coin. Go look at a dollar bill. Go look at any kind of bill. There has to be two sides. So because there's two sides, then that means there has to be abundance and lack hanging out all in the same place. But you get to flip a coin today. See, because if you flip the coin on the abundance side, you guard your lips, you preserve your life. But if you flip the coin, flip the bill on the lack side, oh my goodness, then your life will come to destruction. Jay, is this true? Well, look around. Look around. I want you to find abundance today. Find abundance everywhere. Look for abundance everywhere. Go turn your TV on. See if the news is going to give you abundance. Come to social media, right? If you're not watching these types of things, just see all the things that show up in your news feed. Is it abundant? I want you to pay attention to what people are saying. What are people saying? Are they talking about their problems all day? Or are they talking about the solution? Are they talking about working on the solution moving forward? Are they talking about how, man, I'm just so thankful I'm so grateful for all these things, even the problems that I'm having? Man, this is amazing. This is amazing that I can experience today. Because look, the other side of the coin is, well, I could have not woke up today to experience even these problems. So when we guard our lips, we preserve our life. When we speak rashly, listen, just having the conversation, it seems counterproductive, because many times it's like, well, I shouldn't talk to my friend. Well, you can, because we're good friends, right? We want our friends to be able to talk to us and be able to share with the problems that they have with us. Now, but here's the thing: then as they share the problem, ask them, well, are you looking for a solution? If they share with you a problem, you should ask the question. You don't have to agree with the problem. You just have to say, well, are you looking for a solution? Now here's where you have to get strong. If they say no, well, you've got to understand how to pivot. Are you looking for a solution? I'm not sure. Man, you know what? You should think about that. You should think about looking for a solution to your problem. Why? Because that's abundance. Abundance is all the good in the world. lack is all the bad in the world. So why would I focus on the bad things versus the good things? That's the question to ask ourselves. So let's look at business. You have a business, right? Maybe you're having a problem getting customers. I've had that problem. So why would I focus on all the hard ways to make money? I heard that. I heard that from one of my mentors. He says when he learned there's it's easier to make a lot of money in a short amount of time than it is to make a little amount of money in a long period of time. He was like, I'm done. That's when he said his whole mindset changed, his whole abundance. It was like, wait a second, I do not have to live in that experience anymore. I have to live in that experience. So when people go wrong, thinking about abundance is simple. We look at all the hard ways to do things. We limit ourselves. We don't realize that you could turn your wants, all your desires. You could literally just say, wow, I could focus on those things. Yeah. Why not focus on your desires? Why not focus on the fact that even if you say you need money for things, why would I focus on having money? Why would I even do that when that's made up too? So I should focus on the fact that I don't need money to be in my brain, to be in my mind, to be thinking about all the cars that I'm gonna drive. Man, I saw a car that I'm gonna get. I was driving yesterday. And we come down the road and I see this car. And I don't even listen. I don't want an SUV. It's like an SUV. But I said, you know what? That's something, man. I drive that. I like that. And the car was moving, so it was moving so elegantly, but it was an SUV. Well, kind of like the crossover ones. It was a Lamborghini. Are you familiar with Lamborghinis? It was a Lamborghini crossover SUV. I said, honey, do you see the Lamborghini SUV? She said, where's it at? I showed it. Look, I'm looking at that like, okay. I never said that I actually wanted one. I like cars, but that was like a car, it looked like a muscle. It looked like a muscle, just like the in between SUV, maybe like a Mercedes something. But that thing was so beautiful. I gotta look it up, see how much, just so I can see all the options that come in. I don't care how much it costs because I'm just gonna get it. See, we could live in that experience. We don't have to say, it's going to cost too much. When I already know a Lamborghini, the car costs like $300,000. That means that probably costs a little bit more because typically SUV vehicles cost more than cars. So I don't care how much it's going to cost. That's not for me to even think about. But in your abundance, you never put a block on yourself. Think about that. You don't block yourself from your desire. So a lot of times we go wrong because we tend to put a block up of, well, you know what? I probably couldn't get that one. Oh, it's probably not for me. Oh, how is it not for you? It's like me having a yacht. We were in Bahamas in 2021. I was down there for 7 days. Oh my goodness, just a beautiful trip. And I remember I took some pictures. We went on a yacht trip. Boat. We rented a yacht for a day. It was so fun hanging out in the water. But I got a chance to look at the yachts that was on the water. I said, man, I'm getting one of them. I'm gonna have one, big one. It's just gonna be parked in the Bahamas with my beach house. Just be there. I'm not even gonna live there, but I'll be able to go there whenever I feel like it. See, abundance means that you could entertain things and your desires. You can entertain those things. You don't cut yourself off. Say, well, the house is going to be 10 million, so I probably can't get it. What? That just means that I have access to so much that money is never the problem. Money is, there's not a limitation in resources today. As much as they would tell you, man, you gotta watch the program, man. The programming is so funny. Man, right now they're in process of setting people up for something. I'm not going to get into it, but they're in the process of a big setup for something. I don't know exactly what it is, but they are doing it. But I don't care. That doesn't stop the purpose for which I've been created. What about you? Does what the world's doing stop your purpose? Absolutely. That means your purpose is needed even more. People have to shift from these ways of thinking. That's why I'm here. I'm like, wow, I've been gifted. I've been gifted with an ability to live my purpose. That's an ability. Because most people, I would say at least 98% of people will never or have never lived it. But that can stop with you, your purpose. So when people go wrong, when they think about abundance, is that they allow their limitations to get the best of them. And their limitations actually becomes a destruction of their life. Those who guard their lips, preserve their lives, live abundantly. But those who speak rashly limit their lives. They come to ruin. They never live their purpose. What about you? Are you going to live your purpose? Are you going to pursue your purpose? Listen, when it comes to what God has for you, you have to pursue God. They talk about wisdom as a woman. So God needs to be pursued. God is like, I'll tell you everything you need to know. But you got to get to know me. The more you get to know me, the more you'll see how abundant he is in everything. God is just abundant. There is no lack in God. So if there's no lack in God, then why would there be lack in us? He created us in his image to make stuff, to create stuff, and to dominate stuff. Let's dominate in 2023. Guys, I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.